Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod, SKiMPod.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, it's the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum 216,
Lunchbox 2099.
And I'm your host, the internet's ThrowRAforgetaboutit.
Stays Crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy.
Fell in love with this fish who got caught in my mesh. But yo, she burned my scene up like David Koresh. I guess a diamond ain't nothing but a rock with a name. I guess love ain't nothing but emotions and game. It's a lesson well learned, so praise is well due. I'm sending off from Big L to Kenny Calhoun and add a reservation for the resident crew. And yo, get your bowl, cuz we cooking up stew. See, them Cubans don't care what y'all niggas do. Colombians ain't never ran with your crew. Why you acting all spicy and shiesty? The only Italians you know was ices. Nigga, price me. I keep it clean, like a washing machine. Hey, yo, get your locomotion running too full steam. I'm sending out a greeting to my man, Dasim. I got a child, so I got to get the green. Right. It's so easy. We getting hot this year. Hello, and welcome to
Lord.
It is Stays Crunchy Milk. It's episode 484, and these jeans ain't slim fit. I am your host, Entertainment 713, joined with my best friend, Tatum 216.
Hello. And I don't know how to turn off my phone. I've been trying, but I can't.
I thought the new one had the always on screen.
I guess. I mean, I tried to turn it off. Like, I know when I'm not trying to turn it off, it'll show, oh yeah, you turn it off like this. But now that I try to turn it off, oh, there you go. I just turned. But how do I turn it back on after that? Well, it doesn't matter.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I love that you in the future, you got the new, and it's like, this is a little too new sometimes.
Like, it's a ton of things I don't like about this phone. Like, this is my first phone that I can remember without an audio jack on it.
Oof. I've been that way. It's been that way for the Apple shit for a long time. I constantly got one of these dealies, and that is a lightning adapter with a 3/4 of headphone jack. But honestly, it ain't around me right now, but I just be walking around. I bought some Bluetooth headphones. We started going to the gym at work.
Mm-hmm.
Same pair. Got the same pair I had, and they charge still. I use them when I go for walks and all the like, because I'm not normally under headphones for much of anything because we work from home. It's a full blast, speakers all around me.
Yeah, I use my Bluetooth headphones quite a bit, but I use them for like just listening to stuff. Like the one pair I cannot find currently. It seems like the only person I talk to on the phone is my mother, really. And then every time I'm talking to her on the phone, she's like, "I can't hear you. I'll call you back." And I'm like, "Well, and the blue pair, another pair I got, you could hear good on the phone, but they just looking raggedy." So,
Okay.
And I'm not about to be paying no. My highest I think I would pay for a pair of headphones with inflation is $60. It used to be like $40 or $45. So, but
Hey, you know what? I mean, and I know that's your boy, man. Them Raycom joints is supposed to be pretty decent quality.
And are they like over the head like we're wearing currently, or there's like just a bud? Because
I think you got some options. Let me go to Raycom. If you didn't know, that's owned by Ray J, Brandy's little brother. That is his company. Raycom. It's Raycon. Raycom is the people who make missiles, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, they're dropping bombs.
They seem to have some over the ears, and they have some bud types. So you got a couple of different options. And let's see what deals. And it's always somebody doing a Raycon deal. So
I'm sure after we talk tonight, that should be all over my Instagram feed.
Bruh, that shit happened to me. It's like they knew I went to the eye doctor. All of a sudden, I started getting Zenni Optical ads and shit. And I'm just like, I have spoken about them out loud, but I have not looked at anything regarding Zenni Optical in years.
Yeah,
because I only go to them when it's time for me to get sunglasses. I don't buy real glasses from them. I buy sunglasses from them because they don't got to be perfect in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and then like I promise you, like I sent it to Vanessa. It had to been like me poking this text message here. Let me see when it just showed up. I was like, what the fuck is this? How are they knowing this? This was, I don't even know because they won't what? Anyway, it just like I said, it just out of the blue, they just emailed me and I'm like, what is that? So that was that of course was a wild one and it was perfect timing because guess what? I had to order me some sunglasses. So.
Okay.
Because I had a pair of sunglasses and when my car got broke to forever ago before I bought cameras, they stole my prescription sunglasses, which does them no good.
I mean, maybe they just took the frames. It's like, look, I'm bringing the style back. I'm poking these out.
So that's what's popping with that. I mean, look, what's I looking at? So the kids both got AirPod Pros, and they seem to do well with them, and they seem to stick in their ears and just fine. I am a bit adverse to the idea of just earphones hanging in my ear, no cord, no nothing. You know?
Yeah.
I'm old man. I'm gonna lose them shits, and I know it. So I'm a headphone. I still like a wire on my shit.
Yeah, I got a couple pair by JBL, where it's like one pair is the sport kind, and it goes behind your ears. And
okay,
I don't like that. It makes you feel like you're underwater. Like they go in and it's like muffled. Then I got another pair I got. It's like just like a dollop in your ear. Well, those are okay, but still, I don't like that feeling of like plugging up my ears.
Yeah, it's that's weird. Oh, they got Bose apparently have some sunglass headphones.
Oh,
so you know what I'm saying? You put them on and get you some quality Bose sound.
Yeah, it's not Tumblr, Telegram thing I follow. It's called Mama Deals, and like all they do all day long is send you telegrams of different deals that are on Amazon all day long. Amazon, Walmart, just deals. And like
you gotta explain to me how Telegram work, man, because I don't. That's one of the ones I'm like, what goes? How does this even function?
Well, it's like you follow different, just like with anything. You follow what you can either follow interest. You just follow an interest, like
okay.
And most of them like are by invite. Some of the things I found on Reddit. But
okay.
This particular one, they were on Instagram, and it was like, "Hey, follow my Telegram." So, and they just pretty much send telegrams throughout the day, like messages throughout the day. And like some of them you can mute, so you're not being bombarded with pop-ups on your phone throughout the day. But this one I don't mute because some of the stuff is helpful. And what was the last thing that they alerted me about? Which so it was a glitch on Zales the other day.
Mm-hmm.
They had all sorts of legit diamonds and stuff from Zales it was a glitch where it's like they're on clearance, and like it was like a full 2-carat ring for $29. Now, some stuff actually, and like they it's a group, so they'll show like, hey, I actually got this back, like, oh, it's been tracking. Some stuff you were able to pick up at the store, and like, of course, I looked it up, and like today the price changed back to $8,000.
Wow.
And some people like were able to get their rings and stuff. Some people that like
they just declined it, denied it, or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't go through. But some people actually got their stuff back. And like when you get it, you got to do it right. Some of the stuff you got to do it right then and there. It's been tons of stuff where it's like, all this furniture at Ashley Furniture is 99 cents. Go in there right now. So when you go in there right now, it's like you get it. Sometimes it ships out, sometimes it doesn't. And like people be legitimately getting this stuff for like criminally low.
I'm looking at their Instagram right now, and of course, if they have a link and it says the first thing on that link says join my Telegram. Download the app first. Yeah. So that's crazy, man.
Yeah, Mama Deals is pretty helpful. Like I said, it's different stuff that's on there that's like might not be useful, might be, but like I've seen different like those headphones with the like with the Bluetooth speaker in it. I always think about that kind of stuff for Dan, like because he seems to enjoy wearing sunglasses and stuff like that. Where it's like, I like sunglasses, but like they only on a need to have basis.
Yeah. Well, that's the point. I only want them for like when I'm like at the beach and shit, and I like or driving in toward the sun. So that's the only reason I bother even ordering a pair of this shit. Let's get you caught up here. First of all, you're down a man. You're down a Dan in Prague. He ain't feeling well tonight. So send good thoughts toward my man's, and hopefully he'll be back next week, and we'll keep motherfucking moving. Your lyrics tonight was from Itzsoweezee. You got a second second go round, but 2 weeks removed. My man, Plug 2 Dave from De La Soul, who passed away a couple weeks back, because tonight, as we record, like right now, happening at Webster Hall in New York, they're doing a tribute to Dave at a combination of De La not album, but music release situation, because their music comes to DSPs and streaming services tonight at midnight as we record this. And so Stakes is High is my favorite De La album that I don't own. Man, I have the CD. I still have it on CD back behind me. But so I was like, let me grab some lyrics off Stakes is High, and I pulled out of It's So Easy. This is one of I love that whole album, but that's one of my bangers on there.
And that's
an all Dave song. He got both verses on that one.
Another CD I stole from the library.
You told me. You told us.
I remember I had we used to get CDs from the library all the time, and then eventually it was just like, what were you saying?
I used to get a bunch of CDs from the library as well. It was like so new and innovative. It was like, here, you can take the whole ass CDs sometimes things, that are super popular, sometimes stuff you never heard of. And it's like, this is a come up. So
yeah, but we were to the point where this is right before burning and stuff. And we would just sometimes keep them. And I was deeply indebted to the library system. And then one of my coworkers, when I worked at a place for a very short time, in between, it was so I worked at the place we worked at now. Then I worked at a different place for 8 months. And then I came back to the place that we work at now. But one of the people I worked at, she was like, you ever get stuff from the library? I was like, no, I owe them so much money. She was like, okay, I got a friend who works in the audio video department. Go talk to her and she'll clear your debt for you. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, just go talk to her. I went there, I met her, and she cleared my debt. I think she asked me to buy her a sandwich or something like that. And I like I said, I owed hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And she cleared my debt, and I've been back at the library ever since.
And have taken good care of the library card since.
Yes.
So.
I was just thinking the other day, I need to go to Cleveland and get another Cleveland Public Library so I can have a better Libby experience.
I only have my county library card on my Libby. What does having a different situation do?
Just more options. Huh. Because if I'm not mistaken, I have a county library, but it'll be some stuff that won't pop up. Like, for example, that Fat Joe's new book. I'm like, I know that's probably got to be in Cleveland Public system because it shows up in the system as in like, oh, it's somewhere, we just don't have it yet.
Yeah. I want to say maybe New York Public Library will let you get a card from them no matter where you are around the country.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, that's something you might want to peep into just in case you want a New York Public Library card.
That'd be dope if I just went to another state just to cop the library card just to get that hot official Libby. Like
or maybe and with a city that big, they probably got their own version of a Libby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe
they probably got their own in-house Libby or whatever the hell they want to call it. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a real vibes type show this week. You know what I'm saying? It's only two of us, so you're gonna get a lot of amateur assholes. But before that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna play around, give you a little something to talk about. And this is a local story, and you might remember us having spoke about this some shit. I'm gonna say months, but it probably could be years back. And it was like 2 Arthur Treachers left in the country, and they was both here in Ohio. And the last one standing closed in 2021. And as the story goes, but a new owner has bought it and is considering or wants to wants to open more of them.
Well, first,
this is from
you got to say what an Arthur Treachers is because people might not know since they only here.
Oh shit, that's real. But they used to be a bigger brand. Arthur Treachers is a fish and chip shop.
Yes.
The English variety, you know what I'm saying? You get yourself some vinegar and, you know, some I don't know, kippers. No, that's I don't know what the hell a kipper is. What the hell is a kipper, Ant?
I don't know what a kipper is, but it's it's fish and chips like T said, but also they have like the most racial food, hush puppies. You know, and like battered it's like all like battered stuff.
Yeah, it's a Long John situation. Kipper is a type of small herring.
Okay, and the only
keep that in your.
I think the main difference between them and Long John Silver's is they don't serve the little batter dipped crunchies on their plates.
Yeah,
and I think their fries are better.
Huh. Well, let's go ahead and get you a quick reader. This is from our local Cleve scene. Douglas Tratner is the byline. Arthur Treachers in Garfield Heights reopened by new owner who plans more locations in Ohio. When Ben Vittoria closed his Arthur Treachers Fish and Chips restaurant in Garfield Heights in 2021, it reduced the number of surviving locations of the chain that once had more than 820 of them to 1. The Cuyahoga Falls Fish and Chip shop, which he also owns. After shutting down the Garfield Heights store, Vittoria put the real estate on the market. He quickly found a buyer in George Simon, but neither party at the time envisions that it would ever be brought back to life as an Arthur Treachers. I bought the property with no strings attached, said Simon. I was looking at it just as a real estate play. Simon says that Vittoria invited him down to Cuyahoga Falls location in order to wrap up the purchase agreement over a meal. Ben says, come down, see me at Arthur Treachers, and I'll buy you a fish. Simon explains. I went down and people were all taking pictures of the inside, the outside. It was like a zoo there, all while I'm sitting there with the guy. Only then, adds Simon, did a pair begin discussing the possibility of reopening the property as an Arthur Treachers. For his part, Vittoria says that he was confident that Simon would honor the brand. When I sold the real estate, I was hesitant to relinquish anything to do with Treachers, but the gentleman seemed to have the wherewithal, well phrased, sir, to do a good job, says Vittoria. He convinced me that he would rehab the property, the inside and the exterior, in a way that could do justice to Arthur Treachers. Simon, with Vittoria's blessing, opened the Garfield Heights Arthur Treachers, 12585 Rockside Road, just in case you want to go, last week, bringing the total number of freestanding locations up to 2.
Nice.
Like the location in Cuyahoga Falls, the Garfield Heights store serves the same time-honored recipes and products that we have come to know and love from the iconic brand, which started in Columbus in 1969.
Well, Columbus need to do their job and get an Arthur Treachers again.
Oh yeah, these fries look way good. Holy shit!
Yeah, I've never seen another fry like that. Like, and what's crazy is
like that?
What I'm thinking is, so most of those come from not Centers. What's the frozen
I know you're talking about the food trucks, the sylphs. What the fuck? Oh my God. Wholesale food delivery. Wholesale food delivery. I'm so look that up and hopefully that'll get us where we're going.
Cisco, that's right.
I want you to know the fact that that's the top thing on that list, and I wrote wholesale food delivery. Give it up to your mans for that one. Come on, bro.
Yeah, like, because we've been making a joke for years. Because this is probably like our oldest joke. Talking about how something is the pomegranate of the year. Because
Yeah.
I think when we came up with that joke, we were definitely in the mailroom on the third floor. Because like I remember it was something, and I was like, that seemed like it's the pomegranate, because pomegranate was the thing that particular year. And then after that,
Yeah.
it was probably I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was mango.
I'll give you a secret. This year it's strawberry. Every manufacturer's trying to come with a strawberry flavor, some shit, and they are not doing good at it.
I was gonna say it was raspberry because
I hadn't seen too many raspberry, but I have seen strawberry everything. It's driving me insane.
well, currently at Trader Joe's they got raspberry butter cookies. They got raspberry mousse, like these little cakes, and it was something else. It was one other thing. I was like, is this raspberries here?
I find it. Oh, let me finish the story.
Okay.
I'm about to leave about to finish the story. The freestanding Ohio stores are distinguishable from the co-branded Nathan's Famous / Arthur Treacher's location elsewhere that offer a limited menu of items, including purchased from different suppliers, Vittoria explains. Simon says they were so busy initially that the shop focused solely on fish and chips, chicken and chips, and hush puppies, but customers can expect to see the full lineup of battered shrimp, popcorn shrimp, and clam strips soon. The store is now open 7 days a week. Simon says the drive-thru will be resurrected in the near future. With more, what's more, the owner has ambitious plans to expand the brand throughout Ohio. Anybody over 40 years old knows the name. It's an institution, notes Simon. There is no learning curve here. Man, I was not going to do any news today. And Ed was like, we got to do a news story. And that, honestly, God touched my heart. I like the idea that this truly Ohio institution could be making a comeback of sorts. And just because somebody who thought, I'm just buying this building. With the way the real estate market is looking right now, don't be buying buildings. I'll tell you that. Not quite yet, at least. But he's smart enough to know, you know what?
Might as well
I
keep
could
it
probably
going.
serve up. Yeah, I could probably go ahead and make this do some things and maybe get a couple more of these going. So that's hot, man. I love it.
Yeah, I enjoy because it used to be one in the arcade downtown, and it was good and it was inexpensive. And like I said, I love those fries. I think I might take a journey over to Garfield Heights, and which used to be my dream place to live when I was a kid. I just wanted to live in Garfield so bad because that's where which at that time was the best Marks I'd ever been to. They used to have the big old bird section on the side, but they don't do that. They don't even got birds at Marks no more.
The one in Parma Heights, Middleburg Heights, over by Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
Unless they've gotten rid of it, in the back they have the full little bird. What is that called? An aviary?
Aviary is a place for birds.
And they had the big fucking parrot, whatever that fucking thing was. It's just, one that's like as large as a turkey. You could have fried that motherfucker up if you could so inclined. So, plus I wonder what's the FDA rules for animals around, all that shit at that point. Although it was always in the section where they sold
the closeouts,
clothes and pet supplies and stuff like that there. So
yeah, it was.
If you live locally, Mark's advertising used to have Mark on the cover with a bird on the shoulder.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It was a part of the advertising structure. So that's why at certain Mark's locations they had basically a small aviary and some large fucking colorful ass birds, macaws and the like.
Yeah, and
just big as shit. Like I wish I could explain to you how bad some of them birds is.
Bigger than Coco Bewares.
For sure.
And back in the day, at first it was called Bernie Schulman. It was like Bernie Schulman and Mark's. I don't know if they were two separate stores at a time, but I just remember it was called Bernie Schulman's. Then it was Mark's, and now they got rid of them. They got rid of the Bergs, except for I guess the apartment location, which I guess I need to go travel to. And I remember one of my greatest things about going to Mark's is there's like those 2-foot bags of popcorn that were only $0.25. Now they don't cost that much. They cost way more than that. But you mentioned Krispy Kreme. I this weekend, I think the official opening date was the 28th, but they had on the 25th they had a grand opening party at the new Krispy Kremes in Mayfield Heights, and I had my first hot donut like fresh off the conveyor belt, like first time in my life, and it was different.
What would you describe the flavor profile as? In my mind, because it's been a hot second since I had a hot and ready. It's almost like a waffle fresh off the iron.
Yes, it was like. Now I have microwaved hundreds of Krispy Kremes at this point. Like, put it on at 7 seconds and no more, and I'm good. But it was just like, even the flavor profile was different of it. It was like I could still taste the, lack of better words, the oil. I could still taste the fry on it.
Yeah.
I had never experienced that taste before. It was good. It was weird a little bit, but it was good. Just like the fact is like I had never had like a fresh ass donut like that before. It was a fun experience, and I love when places first open up anywhere, and it's just like this is the best it's gonna be, right here today. Like it might be good every once in a while, or things will fluctuate, but today everybody's on their game. This is the best it's going to be, and I could see like they were giving out different types of coupons. They gave me a coupon for a free dozen assorted, which was nice. Like, my partner does not like Krispy Kremes at all. She don't like it. They're too fluffy for her. She likes a more dense donut, which is utterly maddeningly ridiculous in my opinion. Like, why would you like something like dictionary defying worse? Like having a heavier, thicker donut is by definition more terrible. But
I enjoy a cake or sour cream,
but that's different.
Every so often.
My favorite donut from our local place, which you guys are getting one in Tremont on the west side, is Godey's Donuts. I love the donut I love from Godey's is their sour cream donut. It is impeccable. It is my favorite sour cream donut, so much so that I don't want a sour cream donut from anywhere else. I will not eat a sour cream donut from anywhere else. But their regular donuts are fine, but just not great.
Well, I'm utterly glad you got a Krispy Kreme on your side of town, or at least nearer to home. But also, like I said, that hot and ready, bro, it'll change your life. I want y'all to know that when you go in there and you see them coming off the conveyor belt. Also, that's fascinating.
Yes,
that's an amazing thing to see go down. Like they have a full, I don't know, small factory, however you want to word it.
Yes,
that is frying up the donuts for all our local churches that sell donuts, schools and shit that sell donuts. They come from there. In this case, they came from one spot, and it was in Middleburg Heights, Ohio, and so they would be constantly just whipping up at almost all hours of any day, just glazed donuts, but also still making the donuts they sell, at the storefront. Just,
which is something Dunkin' can't say.
Yeah, because they shit comes. They're all Dunkin' Donuts now are made at a corporate factory, and they get their donuts shipped to them. Basically, Cisco bringing them donuts. I don't know if they use Cisco per se, but no, it ain't nobody time to make the donuts no more for Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Which is a sad state of affairs. And they talk, people talk about how Dunkin' has changed so much. Krispy Kreme is owned by, I believe, the consortium that owns Dr. Pepper and Keurig and all those guys. I think they've all fallen underneath that banner, and they've taken, in my opinion, decent care of the Krispy Kreme brand. They've spread it not so much far and wide because, like I said, it's been the one in this area in Middleburg Heights for I feel like 15, 20 years, and they just now building one on the other side of town.
Yeah, the other one, which I recently went to, I had was in Akron.
Okay.
And the one in Akron, like they have the store, and it was like a bigger building, like right next to it, where I guess they actually made more donuts too. So
yeah, and they probably I forget, they also got to make the ones for the grocery store.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, because you can buy some Krispy Kremes at the grocery store, so it's like it's a little bit of everything popping around in the Krispy Kreme brand name, but
and all the gas stations that sell them too.
Yeah. So, man, that's dope. Again, I'm glad you got a freshman, and like I said, I'll tell you right now, if I see the hot and ready sign blinging, I'll turn around. I head over there and snag me one, man.
I was I was out today, and this is the first time I seen the hot sign on, and me and the boys are in the car, and like I said, their mom had bought them donuts this morning because they had an eye doctor appointment, and whenever she gets her hair done, she'll either stop at Duck Donuts or she'll stop at Dunkin'. But this morning she stopped at Goldie's. I was like, "No, we're not gonna buy donuts. Y'all just had some today." She bought, but my older sister was like, "But it's Krispy Kreme." I was like, hey, I feel proud every moment. I'm going to feel proud every moment that I drive past her and don't get a donut.
Yeah, it takes some discipline and so forth. So I hear you. I see you. Let me. This story is going to further try to test somebody's discipline, and that is KFC bringing the Double Down back after a 10-year absence. This is from the good people over at Eater. Jaya Sasena is on the byline. Lord, we are doing the Double Down again. KFC is bringing back its breadless fried chicken sandwich, and it's 2010 all over again. The Double Down was meant to sound like a prank. KFC first announced the sandwich featuring bacon, cheese, and sauce held between two fried chicken fillets on April Fool's Day in 2010. It was real and went on to become legendary in its absurdity and decadence. Now it seems almost quaint. More extravagant meals can be built at basically every fast food chain. But in another period of economic precariousness, with nostalgia moving at an ever more rapid pace, perhaps it should not be surprising that KFC is bringing back the Double Down. KFC will be putting the Double Down on the menu for 4 weeks starting March 6th. The Double Down is one of the most buzzworthy fast food menu items ever, says KFC CMO Nick Chavez in a press release. After nearly a decade of people begging for its return, we're embracing the chaos and bringing back our most iconic sandwich for just 4 weeks. The new Double Down will be available with either mayo or spicy sauce. If you can't wait until the 6th, on March 2nd, fans can sign up for one of 2014 sandwiches that will be available on March 5th. The number represents the year the Double Down was last available on the menu. In many ways, our current culinary climate much resembles 2010. Back then, the Great Recession had greatly influenced food trends toward maximum flavor and calories for minimum prices. And in October 2010, Epic Mealtime premiered on YouTube, dedicated to meat-heavy fast food mashups and home recipes, nearly all involving bacon. Bacon's popularity was largely manufactured by the pork industry after the success of its 1987 The Other White Meat campaign for lean pork left the industry with a surplus of fatty cuts like pork belly. Starting in the late 90s, the Pork Marketing Board lobbied chains to add bacon to the menu to great success. The same time period marked the debut of the high-fat, low-carb Atkins diet, which meat and cheese-heavy foods played right into. Now our economy is unstable again, with layoffs affecting multiple industries. The high-protein keto diet reigns. The TikToks full of ways to make a sandwich with eggs as bread, and the trend pendulum that once swung toward zoodles and cauliflower everything is swinging back to cheese, bread, and fried things. The austerity of wellness has ricocheted us to a fuck it, we ball mode of eating.
No, that's nice.
A return to a return to the conditions that originally birthed the double down, and a place where it can return and further catalyze the trend. But looking at the press images now, the double down seems weirdly tame. Was everyone really getting worked up about what amounts to 2 chicken strips with some cheese and bacon? Note that Burger King just introduced a 4-patty burger with bacon, of course. Was this really, as Eater put at the time, a monstrosity, or what one blogger called the vilest food product ever created by man? Maybe, but not in the way that detractors meant. It is still fast food produced under atrocious farming and labor conditions. Either way, we've already determined KFC just isn't that good. Now, funnily enough, your boy just ate at KFC last night, got myself a spicy chicken sandwich. Also tried one of their new wraps. They basically KFC was like, if McDonald's ain't gonna make a snack wrap, we will.
What's in that new chicken wrap?
And one I love, I've said on this show multiple times, and I'll say it again. If you are having a bad time at your Popeyes because Popeyes be on some bullshit, you can get a decently priced and decent flavor profile stand-in if you go get the KFC spicy chicken sandwich.
I have had more of the KFC chicken sandwiches than the Popeyes. I am in the minority when it comes to KFC. I love the flavor profile of the original recipe. I know it. I just like it. I grew up on it. I like it a lot. I do like Popeyes. They're the way their chicken is good. It's just a different category of chicken. But all the bullshit you got to put up with ain't worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
The lines are always long. The product it varies from place to place. I think I told a story about how I went to Popeyes. The speaker wasn't working, so I was about to leave, but something told me to pull up. And that's how you took your order there. Nobody said anything. It was just if you want, it was almost like pulling up to a drug house. Like, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that almost across the board. Like, it's just always something. With the KFC, it's just like the sandwich is decent. It's more than decent. It's a good sandwich, and it's like you get in to get out. KFC is out of I'll say, just for reference, I probably had 10 of those over at the last 2 years it's been out.
Yeah.
I probably had like a bad experience once. And it's just like one time they put like a lot of mayo on it, and I was like, oh, that's not the best, but it's always been pretty consistently good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. Some people want to be sometimes people are snobby in their criticism, and it just seems like they want to hate on KFC. And I ain't gonna lie to you, KFC in America, pretty mediocre for their bone-in chicken, but KFC all around the rest of this world seem to be doing it right, no matter where you look. And where's that one you sent us a video for the other day? They was in Barbados.
Yes, where the lady
somewhere they
were flying the shit. That's like, I do it 7 times.
Yeah, they was killing it, and that shit looked good as shit, bro. And that was a KFC. So, like I said, depending on, I guess in parts of the world where they pay a living wage and take good care of their people in return. Like I said, KFC Japan is a massive deal. KFC is they do it at Christmas time in Japan, like huge. So much so that people have to pre-order their chicken.
It's like getting a honey baked ham here.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you can trust that the young brands don't play around the rest of the world. Just America, we don't pay people well enough here, and because we don't pay people well enough, they treat their jobs like you get minimum effort for minimum wage, and it should be that way. Until we do better by people, then that's what we gonna get. So that's what's up. Yeah, you gave you a little, I don't know, little political talk right there on top of the rest of it. But Ant man, what's going on with your world, man? What's going on with you, man? First up, as always, is my man Tatum.
Well, I think I did have something I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember what it was. Well, I could talk about my day to day a little bit. Today, I took off work to take my sons to go get their eye exam. Man, it's always a thing. Like, I have the most amount of time off. I think this week, maybe this year, I still got 4 weeks. I'm 4 years shy of that extra week. But we went today. We got up. I packed up some snacks and some water in my little fanny pack, and we headed to the eye doctor. Man, it's my youngest son. This is his first experience at the eye doctor. He felt his eye exam with his pediatrician, so he had to get like a proper eye exam where they looked at numbers and they put like a T-square on his eye. They did the patch and all that stuff, and he'll need glasses. My oldest son already wears glasses. His eyes haven't got worse. They have not got worse, so he's good. But we're gonna have to get them some glasses, and my youngest son, I don't know how that's gonna go. He's 5, and he's full of 5. He's just not. I don't. It's just not. He's not ready for glasses, but we're gonna have to prepare him for it. Maybe we'll get him some cool little eyeglass holders that you sit them on the shelf every night.
Yeah.
We already got the straps.
You see that mine does that.
Mm-hmm.
That little fold out that's built into the glasses, and it's something they've been doing since I was little. But when I was little, it was new,
mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh, okay. So they got a little gear for because we don't.
They're going to
you got a solid bedtime situation with your kids, so maybe you can build in. Let's take our glasses off and put them on the table. But oh boy, I used to just fall straight up to sleep with my shits, and that kind of helps with that because it has a little bend to it, as opposed to a break, and so that is a helpful situation with those.
Yeah,
but
he is the only one who doesn't lose his gloves, so I'm pretty hopeful with that. Like, he does keep up with his gloves, and we already got the not Velcro, spandex strips you put on the back with the little ball, and pretty much hey, when I'm taking off my glasses, they land on my chest.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be a trial by fire still. They're kids. It's too much to say y'all should give a fuck about these glasses. You have your own concerns in life. Hopefully they'll mature to the point where they can get there, but for now they're not. And also we did something pretty fun that I don't really take my kids to the store with me. Usually it's just I go in, I'm not gonna even lie, I get in and get out. When I go to the store, that is my time. I am listening to a podcast. I'm listening to a book. I am taking my time. And don't make me have a good book or a great podcast. You is not gonna see me. I finished the Doughboys today when I was doing my podcast, doing my shopping today, because I made probably the second best enchiladas I've ever made in my life tonight. They were so incredible. I should have probably only ate 2, but I ate 3 of them. Because when I was at Costco, I pretty much feel especially if you're on a budget. If you're making something with chicken in it and you got a Costco or a Sam's Club card, just buy chicken from there. Stop getting the breast. Yes, if you're making chicken fingers or chicken wings or something like that, understandable. But if you're making like a soup or a pot pie or any other thing where you need a whole chicken for, or you can just use pieces or parts, go get a Costco chicken. It tastes pretty tasty. It's $5, and like I still got a whole half a chicken, and I made 8 enchiladas. Not no little like little ass. I made enchiladas. So we're at Costco today. The boys got plenty of samples. They got some chocolate. They got some chips. They had pepperoni. It was just like it was a good day for Costco as far as samples. Terrible day. It was for a Thursday afternoon. That bitch was body rocking. I don't understand that at all.
First of the month.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. That's right. And Costco does take EBT.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were pretty crowded. We got in and got out. Then after that, my oldest son was dead set on having McDonald's today. So got a McDonald's. I can't give him the world all the time, but sometimes I can get a McDonald's.
That's what's up.
So we did that. Came home. Oh yeah. So, we were just talking about the Libby app earlier, and my son listened to the Motorcycle Mouse yesterday. Finished the 2-hour book last night. Beverly Cleary.
Beverly Cleary. Ralph.
Yes, Ralph. Ralph S. Mouse. I think the first one is Motorcycle Mouse. Second one is something. It's a 3-book series. But I was like, you know what? I remember it was a movie about Motorcycle Mouse. She was like, really? And I looked it up on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, it's on YouTube. We can watch it when we get home. Man, he was like automatic, like, man, this looks shitty.
Well, yes, it looked shitty when I was young. Yeah. It's a stop motion, right?
It was in 1986. I was like, dude, I don't even think your mother was born when this came out. I was a little kid, and I was like, he was like, oh, that don't look good. I was like, yeah, them little mouse look terrible, but he wanted to watch the second one when it was over, but we'll watch that later. So then he's also been on a real Star Wars kick. And
which is so strange, like not strange, but it's like it's so interesting to me because I know you don't fuck with Star Wars, and that's not like a hatred point of view. You just it's like it's late. You know, it's like
I had already gone past that mile marker, and there wasn't no use of really going back. I was raised by a mom who was black in America back then, and she took me to see Purple Rain and shit like that instead of taking me to see Star Wars. She was more interested in stuff like that. Like and then by the time I started getting older, just wasn't interested. I think the only little kid movie, like my uncle Chris used to take me to go see, like, Transformers and the He-Man movie and stuff like that, but like the original Star Wars came out in like the late 70s, and I was little, I was too far gone. But so the second complaint was like, man, Yoda looked fucked up in this movie. He looked good in the other stuff. I'm like, well, I say you got to think about it like this. Remember how you said Ralph S. Mouse was looking messed up in the movie? This movie came out before that movie. Then later on in the 2000s, they went back over it, but then they didn't fix Luke Skywalker, so it looks all kind of messed up. And he was like, okay. And I said, also keep in mind, I am not a fan of these movies, and I don't really. What I know is from hearsay. I don't really know anything about them. And he was like, okay. I think he finished The Mandalorian like the first 2 seasons already over the past weekend.
So the Book of Boba Fett is trash, but the last 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett is basically Mandalorian pregame for the new season of Mandalorian, which just started today, technically.
Okay. Well,
So Mando is back, and so you want to just skip all the Book of Boba Fett and go to the last 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
I think he's already finished all that. He's moved on to like watching like Star Wars movies proper, and like
Okay.
he said he wanted a Star Wars birthday. He doesn't want a party. He
Okay.
just wants like Star Wars shit. So, what did I know? I went to the party store today, and I tried to find some like some cool shit, and I did not, because for the most part, all Star Wars party stuff is Mandalorian stuff.
Yeah. At this point, it's just Mando full tilt.
Yes. So,
But there's no way that can't be just found on the internet, right?
but it's like I found some stuff but most of it's still Mandalorian. So like I've been to a couple different stores. One store I didn't hit up Meyer yet. Some stores you'll find a mixture of stuff, and some stuff is just Mandalorian stuff.
Bro, that was forever. That was Lee's situation. Lee would always be about a year, maybe 2 years ahead of the rest of society, and be like, "I want this kind of birthday," and you're like, "You just asked for like really a really challenging situation." That kid always been ahead. I want a Wonder Woman birthday, and then next like 2 years later they'd come with a Wonder Woman movie, and you could find all the woman you would ever need. But when I did it, it was like I had Aphrodite make a Wonder Woman cake and bought a Wonder Woman, figure, and that was the cake topper.
Yeah, I remember that, and I still have that party invite. I still got that.
Oh, nice. So it's just kids be always on. They be on shit. They be ahead of the damn curve.
Yeah, that's kind of like Dan with liking Venom, and then like now you can find Venom stuff like quite a bit, because like my youngest son, like he loves Venom. And like it's funny like how different like Marvel characters, or like Boba Fett has always been like one of those figures that, okay, we got everything, but you'll always be able to find a Boba Fett too. Not a lot of them, but you'll always be able to find it.
Yeah. He was cool he was cool from the word go. Boba Fett showed up in the Star Wars Christmas special in an animated feature, and then of course, like you said, he showed up years later in Empire Strikes Back, and like Boba Fett's just dope, man.
If I'm not mistaken, Anthony for Christmas got the Christmas special animated Boba Fett. No, it's called the Droids cartoon.
Yeah, okay. And it's like the same animation style. Again, this is available to you. They don't have the Christmas special on the holiday special on Disney Plus, but they do have that Boba Fett cartoon that was a part of the holiday special available on Disney Plus, all done up in 4K and so forth. So you get a real quality situation popping there. It's funny, man. I think you'd enjoy Star Wars. I just think you would. I think it's 70s funky enough,
But
in the first few, and you'd be like, okay, I think you just catch a vibe just because you appreciate that era of filmmaking.
I have seen enough that I know enough about it. It's just common knowledge. I think I've sat down and watched maybe one Star Wars movie, or went to the movies to go see one total. But it's not like I hate it. It's just that the fact is like I said, I've already just passed the mile marker. Like I have nothing against it. If my son asked me to sit down and watch it with him, I probably would. It really depends. I really want to play Red Dead.
The whack part about it is they don't have the unfucked with versions available at all. So no matter what you watch, you're gonna have a version that George Lucas went and tweaked for some stupid reason, and it's kind of ruined. I have copies on my computer still that they call them demastered, and basically somebody went in and they took the good cleaned up visuals, you know what I'm saying, the good film, but they got rid of all the bullshit, the weird graphical effects that they added. Han still shoot first, so forth and so on. So it's necessary that that's why I said that's what makes it a challenge to watch for most people. They only get the ones basically from 95 forward that he started fucking with. It's like, bro, leave the movies alone, man. Don't do that.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, he's enjoying it. Like I said, we always use the term, "Don't yuck your yum." So, he's enjoying them. I try to let him enjoy them, but I do like making clear. Like, I don't really know much about these movies, so it's interesting. Like the stuff they get interested in, like some of the stuff after the fact when I tried to show them to him, like we were in a real sweet spot for a little bit. Like when I had Time Warner Cable, where it's like, man, you can watch all the Scooby Doo you want right now. It's like all these but then as soon as we got rid of it. I love Scooby Doo now, and I'm like, you missed the window because we constantly look for a pup called Scooby Doo. Like, hopefully, that's the only thing that's not, I think, on HBO Max or like on some like any other place. I think I gotta look back into that because I watched the movie, and if you watch it in standard definition on Prime, you can watch it for free. Like if you for like high def and to actually buy it, it costs. But for standard definition, I'll watch that shit. It don't matter to me.
Yeah. They ain't gonna look great. Cartoons ain't gonna be looking all shiny anyway.
Yeah. I guess the 2 DVDs I need Pete and Pete season 1 and 2, and I need a pup named Scooby Doo. A pup called Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that's probably easy to get.
I don't know that Pete.
Well,
Pete,
I say that, and then it'd be like impossible.
Yeah,
but
that Pete is
the
high.
internet always provide. Yeah. So you need somebody out there bootlegging stuff. So the longest way possible. Speaking of glasses, Lee has taken up the mantle of lacrosse.
Oh,
their school tried to do lacrosse a couple years back. The pandemic kind of put the kibosh on it, but they are back and trying their hand again. And so he is going to attempt to play boys lacrosse, and that means I had to almost immediately go and find lacrosse gear, the beginnings of lacrosse gear. And so I'm like, I immediately start reading about lacrosse stuff, and I'm like, God damn, lacrosse shit is expensive as fuck, so expensive. But then I'm like, hold on, I got parents who have parented sports before, so I hit up AK. And I was like, AK, what's the lick on lacrosse gear? And she of course said this shop in North Olmsted, Ohio, and I'm actually gonna give you the name because that's how dope they were. Mind you, if I had a bad experience, I'd probably tell you the name on a different way.
Is it Played Against Sports?
No, that is one of the places she recommended, but she said Peranis, Peranis. It's on the north side of the street on Lorraine in North Olmsted, Ohio, and they are mostly a hockey store. Of course, they have a small little section that is dedicated to lacrosse, and everything was pretty reasonably priced. But here's the deal: lacrosse has an option of 3 different sticks. You get an attack stick, you have a defensive stick, and you have a goalie stick. And they are all wildly different. The defense stick about as tall as I am.
Okay.
Just a little shorter than I am. The attack stick, half as much so. The goalie stick, kind of long, but a way bigger
handle.
Head?
Oh, head.
I don't know what the fuck they call the top of the damn thing.
Okay.
Yeah, on the top of it. So because we didn't know what position the kid would be playing yet, I was like, all right, give me an attack stick, give me a defense stick. Attack stick, they had $140, nothing to it. That defense stick, $150 goddamn dollars. And I was like, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't know which stick they're gonna need and what's what. He goes, don't worry about it, man. Keep your receipt. You can bring it back, nothing to it. And I'm like, oh, that's so dope. Thank you so much. But also, they just like, Oh, but they talk to Lee like, oh, I got you, buddy, and so forth and so on. They talk to Lee like you would talk to any guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a feeling they normally get. Because people always want to be, you know, saying dead, not necessarily dead naming the child, but they be like, oh, that's clearly a girl or whatever, and it's like, no, it's not. I know. I guess I'm saying somewhat. I guess, you know, somewhat has a somewhat feminine features, but not really. And he really is kind of, you know, growing into his boy as he transitions. You know what I'm saying? And that dude in that store treat him like one of the bros. And as we were leaving, he's like, he called me buddy, Dad. I'm like, I heard. And I'm glad that did so right by you. And I went back today after I dropped him off at practice and took back the long defensive stick. We don't turned out to talk to the coach there. Said, there you go. Now we got plenty of defensive sticks. We got plenty of goalie sticks. They will need their own attack stick. And I'm like, excellent, cool. I got one. At I'm telling you right now, a song, because like I said, I was looking at these prices. It was anywhere from $100 to like $450, man. And I'm just like, that's one of the sports. I'm just not. I'm like, how is this possible? But it's because it's like some people, they'll buy their own sticks and put a different brand's head on the top of it. They string them a certain way. It's wild how this sport goes.
Lacrosse is one of those sports. It's like, of course, in most places isn't popular, but at the same time, in other places, it is the sport. And
yeah,
if Lee gets good enough, that's something they can probably take to college.
It popped up. They sent an email out and was like, hey, yo, we trying to do lacrosse again. Are you down? And I got the email and I forwarded them and just was like, yeah, I fuck with that. And so it acts as a number of things. One, it gets them back into a club kind of situation. They didn't do band again this year. They was like, fuck that. And I ain't blame them. That band experience was just kind of shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Even Xander was not happy with band when it was all when at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? So it gives them a school activity to kind of embrace, but also gives them an exercise situation. You know what I'm saying? So because they definitely are going to have to get into playing shape,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're excited about that. And so we copped them some. Because they was like, look, we don't practice on turf. You just need sneakers for practice on turf. When we start playing, you'll need some cleats. So we snagged them some shoes just for practice. Found out this child got the widest of feet, just super. I'm telling you right now, it comes straight from their mama. Their mama had wide ass feet and was always complaining, always a challenge to buy shoes for her when she was about. So I'm like, I know exactly where that came from, and I'm sorry you got your mama's wide ass feet, but you do, and so that is a challenge. But and so I was because they had cleats at the hockey spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going to just return the stick and buy some cleats. And I was like, I can't because now I got to have them present to see how everything fits. So
and cleats are usually pretty narrow.
Because they're supposed to be, because they want to be narrow because they want to keep your ankles and your feet right, like, you know, in check. So it's going to be interesting to try to find an appropriate size and fitting cleat for this kid. My children always take up these these things that are niche and pricey, in a way that I'm like, bro, I'm gonna make it work, but fuck, I'm gonna have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But for a hot second, he was like, I guess I'll just play for the girls' team, and we'll just work with that. But today, he asked some of the guys, and he's like, look, let me explain something to you, man. I'm trans, you know what I'm saying, female to male. And I would like to play with the guys. And apparently there's already a trans boy on the team. Didn't know that, but that's dope. Mm-hmm. And they was like, look, as long as you go out there and you give it your all and don't be, you know, just fucking us up, we don't care. We don't care, and we got your back.
That's great.
Like, that's what it is then. So that is what the plot and the scheme is currently. We're gonna double check with the coaching and make sure it's okay. Plus, Ohio's a weird state. We don't know how that shit will go down. But assuming all is right and okay with the world, then the kid will be playing Lacrosse here playing games. Like they will have some scrimmages and stuff here soon, within weeks. So that is going to be interesting. We'll see how that all plays itself out. But yeah, so they got to get goggles because my kid is blind like their daddy. And luckily, like I said, we just took them last week to the eye doctor, so I have their script. I asked when I left the eye doctor last week, I was like, give me my receipt and give me everybody's prescription. So if I want to order anything in addition, I can order from on the internet. And I had their prescription, and I was just on Zini, and the goggles start at $30. And so, and their prescription is relatively light compared to mine, so it probably won't be much more than that after I put the prescription on them. So good. I'm glad about that, and excited for the kid getting out there for that. Oh my God, I got such a busy weekend. We're going to see Fortune Feimster tomorrow night at the Playhouse.
Okay.
Because she's coming into town, and so it's one of Vanessa's favorite comics, so we get to go see her. And then Saturday, Vanessa's in a film festival in Pittsburgh, so we're going to head out Saturday morning to go to Pittsburgh, and are going to stay overnight there, and so forth. Her film is the film fest starts at like 8:30, and her film is amongst, I want to say, 7 or 8 other pieces being projected. So the way this film festival works is they did it virtually over the last couple of years, and they take a filmmaker's film, and then they got a band or bands to play music up against it. You know what I'm saying? Basically to score, mm-hmm. And they're going to do it in person this year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 filmmakers, so 11 movies, and music is going to be by Skeleton Eyes, Ben Opie, and Adam Kantz. They're going to sit there and play music, live music accompanying local silent movies. So I'm pretty excited about that. Like I said, doors at 8, movies at 8:30. By the time you hear this, it will have happened, but just in case. I've been thinking about maybe giving the patrons the show like wild early, just giving them the uncut. Unless I have to cut something out of it, like what I'm saying, like the next day after we record. So the patrons might get this show tomorrow, and everybody else you'd get it next week when it comes out. But I'm pumped about that. But if I'm driving out of town, guess what? It was probably time to look at the old the shoes on the car, and so I had to get new tires for the car yesterday.
Did you?
And
No, go ahead.
That worked out real well. I was very happy about it. I was initially going to go to Conrad's because, it's just down the way. And then they said they didn't have any appointments until Saturday. And I'm like, that's too late. I'm leaving Saturday. And I didn't push go on anything. I thought, and I'm certain I did. I just closed the app. I'm saying I had filled out all the information, but didn't push appointment. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then I went over to Mr. Tire, which is a little further down the road, but I was like, I can get there. I can get to and fro, no issue. Made an appointment for that with 2:00. But then Conrad's hit me up like, hey, we don't got those tires in stock, but we got these tires in stock. It's only like $3 more per tire. Do you want to get it? I'm like, well, no, I didn't make the appointment with y'all guys because it said y'all wouldn't go have no tires no appointments till Saturday. They go, no, you bring it to me right now. I have it to you about 2:30. And I was like, well, bet. So I ended up taking it down the road to Conrad's, walking home. And I was just going to say, fuck you to Mr. Tire. Not no disrespect. I just wasn't going to do nothing about it. Also, I get weird and I get uncomfortable. But I was a grown-up. And I called Mr. Tire and officially canceled the appointment. Like a grown-up should. And I felt good about that. Because, what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. You get nervous or, you get whatever. And I'm like, no, you should call and cancel so they have the space if they need it. And they just sitting waiting around. I'm like, grumble and I grumble. Go pick up the car. End up being like $60 less than even what they had quoted. They did me right.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so props to Conrad. So car I got put 4 new tires on the car, and I am otherwise ready to roll to Pittsburgh this weekend and have a good time. I'm very excited about that. For what I'm not thinking of going to because Vanessa was asking, I was like, and I'm actually like, you want to go to IKEA? And I'm like, actually don't want to go to IKEA this
Please
time.
go if you can go to IKEA for me.
Oh, if you need something from IKEA, I got you. Yeah. Just just send me the list.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. It's only one thing, and hopefully you can get it. But what I was going to ask you, are you going to go to the halal guys while you're in Pittsburgh?
No, my intent was to go to a couple of record stores. Jerry's Records, which is wild famous. Like if you watch This Is Us, Jerry's Records got talked about on that show. That's how famous Jerry's Records is. There's also another record store there, record shop there that I came across when I was looking up stuff. And I want to go poke around for some records. You know what I'm saying? That's what your boy wants to get into during the day, Saturday during the day and Sunday. And of course we want to hit up a Pizza Fiesta and get us the buffalo fries pizza. That shit is so good. And
Well, they say that it's out of stock, so I guess it's okay.
Oh, what is it? What are we looking for?
I'll put it in this chat. It'll be easier that way.
Very good, very good. So but then of course, like if I'm going out of town, then I need to I'm like Xander, I need you to just stay your butt at home. And he's like, bro, I'm supposed to go to Columbus with my buddies to help them pick up a car and blah blah blah. And I'm like, so it's a little chaos here that I'm at to figure out what I'm gonna do to work that out. But I might holler at some family, be like, yo, come through and just kick it with leave for the day until Xander get back and see what's on and popping in that regard. And yeah, man, I'll hit up Carl. You don't know who that is, listeners, but
the unk.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe him and his lady will snag the kid and kick it with him. So that's a go. But that's what's been popping around my way. So you are indeed all caught up in that regard. So I'm about to hit you on Reddit, and I'm gonna give you a selection this week. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make up for Dan's absence by making you question if these people are or are not assholes. And the first I get you is not even an am I the asshole. It's one of the ones I came across on TikTok with a video of Subway service playing and a Reddit story being put over the top of it.
Those are great.
And I was so taken aback by it. I was like, let me go look this up. And this thread has since been closed. And it says this post has reached one of our comment/karma limits. The text of the post has been preserved below. So it's still here. And of course, it'll be in your show notes. But this is actually from r/relationship advice. But trust me, it should have been in Am I the Asshole. So let me give it to you. My 29 male, close friend, 28 female, abandoned her morals and is now angry with the way I'm reacting. Throwaway account for reasons. This post cannot be used without prior consent from the OP. Oh, okay, buddy, relax. Too long, didn't read. My 29 male, close friend and love interest, 28 female, had an affair with her boss, 50 male, and is now angry with my reaction to everything. I'm going to preface this by saying that we were not in a romantic relationship at any point in our friendship. A bit of backstory. We became friends around 8 years ago when we started working together and were casual friends for about 3 years. Around 5 years ago, she left the job because of reasons, and her boyfriend at the time broke up with her. She confided in me about her situation and feelings, and since then, we had been growing closer. Around 2 years ago, she had gotten COVID and had been ill ever since. At the time, she had been dating someone else who ghosted her, and that took a severe toll on her mental health, which led to additional physical health problems. Once again, she confided to me about all her issues, and I helped her to get through the breakup and did some other inconsequential things for her, like sending her her favorite sweets/chocolates when she was having bad days, etc. A few months after the breakup, I realized that I had started developing more romantic feelings for her and confessed to her about it. We had discussed it, and as she had just come out of a messy breakup, she said that she was not ready to date again. So we agreed to remain friends and see where it may lead in the future. Unfortunately, I still held out hope for us to be more than just friends, and continued doting on and spoiling her whenever I got the chance, i.e., randomly sending her flowers, buying things for her that she needed but could not necessarily afford, etc. She did say a few times that she doesn't like that I do/buy all this stuff for her, but she doesn't do/buy anything for me, which I stated that I don't mind, as I don't like when people feel obligated to do or buy things for me. During this whole time, we still continue to chat daily and talk over the phone almost weekly. We lived in different cities, so visiting her was a once in a while thing. This past Thursday at around 1 a.m., she messaged me saying that she did something terrible and now is not sure how to deal with the consequences, and it will mess everything around her. At the time, she did not want to say what happened, but I could tell that she wanted to talk about it. So I continued to try to calm her down. At around 2 a.m., she calls me and tells me that she has to tell me what happened, regardless of any promise she made to anyone else, as it's killing her inside. Then she goes on to tell me the worst news I've ever received. I said that dramatically for a reason. That she's been sleeping with her 50 male boss. She then goes on to tell me that this has been going on since mid-December, and now she made the mistake of sending a picture of them together at a restaurant to his phone in the middle of the night, and his wife saw it and has been calling and swearing her. She goes on to say that just before 2 a.m., he sent her a voice note calling her a bitch for breaking up his marriage, and that he doesn't want anything to do with her going forward, which is when she decided to call and tell me everything. The second she mentioned his name, my entire world shattered, and I was just numb. I talked her through it for another 3 hours until I had to leave for work and continued to check up on her throughout the day. Throughout the day, however, everything started getting to me, and in the evening, I had decided that enough was enough and that I needed to talk to her. I called her around 8 p.m. and basically told her off for the fact that she basically used me as an emotional punching bag. I had asked for several times why throughout the 3 months that she was with him, and however long before that, when she realized that she had feelings for him, did she not once think to tell me about it so that I could remove myself from the situation. All she could say was that she did not once think about telling me or how it would affect me when I eventually found out. I then accused her of not caring about me and lying to me and basically forced more information out from her. She eventually admitted that she had been actually slept with him for the first time at the beginning of December, and my overthinking and analyzing leads me to believe that it may have been on my birthday. She did not tell anyone, as he is married and has a son, 25 male, who's almost her age, and that he made her promise that she would keep it a secret until he leaves his wife. I then warned her that if he could do this and ask her to hide it, he probably definitely did it before, as his wife did accuse him of cheating before. She still continued to defend him and say that he is this genuine, caring man who she's in love with. She doesn't know she doesn't know what she's going to do or how she's going to continue living without him. We ended the call as friends, with me saying I would need more time to process everything and her accepting that. On Friday afternoon, I messaged her saying that I have a question, but she did not want to answer any questions. I then went on to basically lash out again and state that she does not and did not care about me enough to even give me a warning that she had feelings for someone else or let me down slowly in some way. I told her that she completely broke me, and that's because of this I cannot trust or believe anything or look at anything the same ever again. She then lashed out at me, saying that it was the one secret she had kept from me, and what she does in her personal life doesn't have to tell. And what she does in her personal life, she doesn't have to tell me, and she didn't tell me because she herself didn't know what was happening. I was still angry and gave her the option to message me if she wanted to continue to be friends, with the knowledge that I won't be able to trust anything she says again. She messaged me the next morning, Saturday, but because I was having other issues at home, I basically was blunt with her. And on Sunday, she posted several pictures to the essence of not wanting anyone to do anything for her if they're going to throw it back in her face. And I messaged her to ask if it was about me. I did mention on Thursday evening when we spoke that I regret doing everything I did from December because her boss is probably laughing at me, which she said was not the case and that he was jealous of me. She did confirm that it was about me, which I then went on to remind her that I never once asked for anything in return, and that the reason I brought it up because I felt like I was being made a fool of. We began arguing again, and I basically told her again to decide if she wants to keep me as a friend or break up our friendship completely. She did not message me on Monday. However, she did post a story on Instagram where she was at a coffee place, and on the table was 2 cups. I replied to the story on Tuesday and accused her of lying to me again and still continuing the affair, even with everything that happened. She then called me and swore at me for accusing her, stating that her parents took her out because they could see she was depressed, which I feel is lies because she hasn't spoke to her father in almost 6 months and she doesn't like her mother. Basically, she's living in a toxic household. She then goes to tell me that I'm always reading too much into everything, and that I have no right to question where she is/was or who she's with, and that I have no right to react as I am because we're not and did not ever date. She then went on to tell me because of my reaction, she will never tell me anything anymore, and if we do remain friends, and basically told me that I'm the reason our friendship is broken now. I really don't want to lose her as a friend. Jesus Christ. But at the same time, I don't think I can forgive her for what she did. I want to know, am I the bad guy for reacting the way I did? Essentially her words, acting as if I was her boyfriend and she cheated on me, or overreacting. Should I try and rebuild this friendship?
Oh my gosh.
And if we can't, how do I move on from someone I loved for so long?
Poor.
Right there, he should have wrote, am I the asshole? And then I would have replied, yes, you're a fucking asshole. You fucking scummy human being, you who tried the nice guy's way into a lady's pants and it never worked, but you didn't stop. You just kept going. Hell, even now he hasn't stopped. He keeps saying, come on, be my friend.
Don't eat the boogers out the garbage
That's
can.
not what you want, buddy.
Yeah. This dude gives dudes a bad name. Like, it was at least 5 different like red flags, and just in the first 2 minutes you were reading. It was that's terrible. That guy is definitely an asshole. That person needs to stay away from him at all costs.
For certain. That seems like a dangerous situation.
I was about to say, because stay away. That person sounds dangerous at this point.
Yeah, I won't bother with most of the comments are just in line with what we're saying here. So this guy says, sorry, dude, but you're classic r/nice guys material. Stop trying to debate everyone who is telling you that, yeah, you're fucking up by acting like a mad boyfriend. You aren't her boyfriend. And sorry, but holding out hope that you're going to date her makes you a sketchy ass friend.
Oh.
Also, you're almost 30 years old and addicted to drama. Focus on your career, hit the gym, maybe take a break from this train wreck of a girl that you're interested in and stop acting like a fucking psycho. Again, you aren't her boyfriend. Stop stalking her, guilt tripping her, expecting her to report to you if she's seeing someone else. Man.
Yeah, like I remember it's this Richard Pryor joke. It says, "A woman breaking your heart makes you a man. No, either makes you a man or makes you fat." So hopefully this dude becomes a man, or yeah, that's just terrible. I know. I firmly feel that, like, you got to get your heart broken a couple times, but the breaking of your heart should be anew. Like you should come back from it. Some people never come back from it, but it starts anew. And I don't know. This was one of those things. Like I want to be one of those types of dads that tell my children, like, you're going to get your heart broken, but it's not the end of the world. You need to be able to have a healthy grace period of mourning that loss, but also knowing that things will get better. Things will get it's gonna hurt, but knowing that hurt means that your heart is open for more.
Yeah.
If not for this dude, you just deserve a cat and to go to hell. I don't know,
bruh. I am aware of this notion of the friend zone situation. You know what I'm saying? And I always been like, it's one of the situations motherfuckers got to pony up. You know what I'm saying? Cards got to be put on the table. Now, the only thing I can get this man his peas on is he did tell her, look, man, I'm trying to get down with you. And she said no. And that is when he should have walked away from that explosion. He didn't know because he was like, nah, but we can be friends. And I don't think they could have been friends because the reality is he has feelings for her.
I know now. Like I said, I'll make sure I'm going to tell my boys this. There's no such thing as being friends after she says no. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as a friends with benefits because somebody's going to want more. There's no such thing as that. Yeah. Don't ever have sex with a woman if you don't plan on it going further. There's no such thing. Like, I'm sure there's probably some women out there who are able to do that, but then on the flip side, is the man probably is not ready for that. Just don't do it. Be honest with yourself. Stop this madness because that shit ends up bad.
I'm telling you right now, you don't want to be in the friend zone. Then one, be honest and upfront as soon as possible with a person you're interested in, male, female, whatever way, and just be like, look, I'll dig you, and I'm trying to kick it in this way. Is that something you see we can do? If they say yes, cool, then proceed. And if they say no, also cool, but you can then let them go.
Yes.
And be like, all right, well, you know what, lady, I'm saying, or gentle sir, I got plenty of friends.
So, and that's the thing, though. So, if I learned this the hard way, if that person, if you genuinely want to be that person's friend, then you should be okay with walking away with them saying no. If you have a strong enough feeling to be cold towards them or mean towards them or anything along those lines, that truly wasn't your friend and you are in the wrong. So yeah, that person is definitely an asshole.
For sure. And that's why I should have went and an asshole and not relationship advice. Because guess what? You wasn't in no kind of relationship.
Nobody was.
For real. Well, her and her boss
50-year-old man who out here wifing it and got something on the side. Player.
Oh my God. Now let me walk on now to our actual subreddit we do our business in, Emma the Asshole, and let me bang you out some of these right quick. First up, am I the asshole for not wanting to split? This person actually wrote spit. Now that I read this, spit expenses proportional to income. I live with my boyfriend in a flat he owns. It's fully paid off. His father gave it to him. The whole building was built 6 years ago, and it's in a very popular area. I pay my boyfriend half of the market rate rent, which we update every year by looking how much the flats are being rented out for in the building complex, which is a lot of money, but I agreed to it. Other than this, we did everything else 50-50 in the past. I got a new job with a significant pay increase, and now my boyfriend says we should start splitting expenses proportional to income because that's fair. I told him I don't think it's fair that I should start paying for more just because I got a new job and nothing else changed. I already pay him rent. That's enough rent that that would get me a same size flat a few streets away. So it's more than fair to him. He made some, in my opinion, very weak arguments and accused me of ripping him off. That's when I told him that under no circumstances will we split expenses proportional to income. Now that I've calmed down a bit, I'm worried whether I'm in the wrong, especially since my best friend told me that this is how they do it with her boyfriend too, and my boyfriend owning the flat is irrelevant here. Am I the asshole?
I don't think she's the asshole. And a matter of fact, the fact that she's like rethinking it and talking it over with other people, she's already being really thoughtful about it.
Correct.
I do feel like he's being a little bit of a prick. A little bit, it sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like the smart move here, baby, would be move over to that flat a couple streets over. It just seems like if you could afford it, a clear conscience is the softest pillow. Please just, you guys can still be together. You can still love him, but you should probably get your own space and let him ponder how it feels to pay it all for himself since he wants to re-up.
Facts. There's not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 paint comments on this post. And I will give you all of them because none of them are illogically or irrationally written. They're all reasonable lengths. First one is simply say. Is simply say? I simply say is their username. Not the asshole. I tell them you're okay splitting expenses proportional to income, but rent isn't an expense. You guys have to pay, so you'll no longer be paying rent. Sure, I get that. Somebody responds, Miss One of Two responds exactly this, or at the very least, include the rent in his income because he owns the flat. So that means the money she's giving him should count as income. Oh yeah, that's really smart. This is one of the reasons why I'll never move in a place that my partner outright own and pay rent to them. We either own it together or we rent together, but I will not be paying them rent. Especially since where I'm from, you lose a lot of tenant protection if you live at the same address as your landlord. Didn't know that. Scroll down. Not the asshole. He's accused you of ripping him off because he's trying to rip you off. A little further down. Not the asshole at all. Consider this analogy. When figuring out child support in my state, each spouse's income is totaled up to see what proportion of child support each pays. And if one spouse receives free housing as part of their job, the value of that is calculated into their income. So your boyfriend's income is whatever he earns in his job plus the full market value of his housing. That means the full monthly rental value. You pay him half that value already. So he has to add that plus his half as income. That's how we do it here. But free yourself from this brat and get your own place. And is this the last one? I think it is. Double check. There we go. And this one says, hey, my only tenant just paid rent. Want to grab dinner? We can go halvesies. Boyfriend, probably. Yeah, that guy's an asshole. And again, I tried to be better about this, but y'all should definitely break up. That's a real shitty dude. And go get your congratulations on the new job. Go get your own place and find you a better person. Fucking asshole. Next up. This is what I wanted. In fact, I want Dan around for this one so bad. I'm just going to tuck that into the bookmarks and we'll come back to that one next week. But I will tell you the title of it, my peoples. That way y'all can be like, oh shit, I can look forward to this. And that is, am I the asshole for choosing my senior cat over my sister and potentially allowing her to become homeless? All right. Next up, am I the asshole for announcing to my sexist stepfather that I'll not be sharing my college funds with my stepbrother? Come on, man. Does that person sound like an asshole to you? Of course not. I had to repost this due to technical problems. I, 18 female, found out a couple of months ago that I got into my dream school early decision that happens to be an Ivy League. I was overjoyed, and my parents were happy for me too. We're not too well off, but my grandma saved up money for her only granddaughter, that's me, college fund, which is more than enough to fund my tuition. Now I have a stepbrother, Damon, 19 male. He took a gap year, not really, and he's going to college too. But he's going to a college less costlier than mine. Honestly, he's only going to attend college because his dad's incessant nagging. So my parents, moreover, my stepdad, is bugging me about sharing my college fund with Damon. I don't want to, or else I'll have debt after graduation, and it will shatter all my financial planning after college. Last night at dinner was my breaking point. When stepdad asked me, I said no. Then he said to my mom, well, anyway, Amaryllis is a girl. Why waste that much money on her college? I completely lost it. I yelled out, you know what? I had enough. First of all, it's not even your money to decide what the fuck to do with. It's my money. My grandma left for my college tuition. Besides, my gender doesn't define my intelligence. I got into college name, didn't I? Then Damon said, I need to accept that he's smarter with a grin. Get the fuck out of here. Now, here's where I may have been the asshole. I said at least I had plans and ambitions, unlike Damon, who told everyone he took a gap year, when in actuality, he failed. Stepdad and Damon stormed off. My mom called me an asshole.
Oh, come on, Mom.
So Reddit, am I the asshole? No pink comments, but there's some bangers up top here. Not the asshole. It's your money. You actually got into an Ivy League, unlike Damon, and it sounds as if you know enough to not insult someone when you're asking them for a favor again, unlike Damon. Your mother's an asshole too, though. She should have your back.
It never ceases to amaze me how it's like always like a parent out there fucking up. It's like one parent is just like, what? Yeah, I don't get it. It's always one.
There is no person in this world who I'm going to choose over my children. That shit has led to many an argument, but it's real, and I'm honest with you, man. My children above all else, especially after their mama died. Come on, bro. What the fuck do you think this is? While the stepdad is another comment. While the stepdad and Damon are like mustache twirling villains of this post, the real problem is actually OP's mom. She should be protecting OP's future in her college fund. She should be standing up for OP when her husband and stepson insult her daughter. She should have intervened on OP's behalf before it got to the point where OP blew up and responded to their baseless bullying with cold, hard facts. And she should never call her daughter an asshole for standing up for herself. Not the asshole if it's not obvious. The sexist stereotypical stepdad and stepbrother are absolutely assholes, but your mom is an asshole and a failure of a parent.
Bars.
This next one is just fun. Mustache twirling villains, and they put 2 laughy emojis. I will be using that in the future. I just found that very amusing. Mustache twirling villains. All right. Last up, this was a wild one, and this has actually been in the save folder here for a bit. So I just figured we knock it out right now. It's kind of short. Am I the asshole for leaving my wife and infant to attend a funeral? No. You think this person's an asshole?
No.
Same. My wife and I recently had our first baby, and she's 3 months old now. A few weeks ago, my family was hit with a massive, massive tragedy. I'm still struggling to come to terms with it. I wanted to travel to the funeral, but my wife didn't want to come with a baby. She didn't want me to go either and said I should be spending the time with her and our daughter. And once she's a little older, we can all go to visit my family. I tried to explain this is important for me, but she wouldn't hear it. Mind you, I was planning to go for less than 3 days. Left the night before the funeral and flew back in the morning after. I went last week, and during the time, my sister-in-law came and stayed with my wife. My wife is mad at me and said that it was selfish of me to go, and my priority should be them right now. I really don't think I did anything wrong here, but my wife and even my sister-in-law said that what I did was completely wrong. Here for opinions because I guess we're all biased one way or another. Similar to the person who you pointed out earlier, is because you're asking about it, I know you're sensitive to the subject. And you know what I'm saying? That already tells me you're a step ahead of most motherfuckers. Yeah. There's a comment, then a pink comment, and then another comment. So these kind of work in unison. This first comment by Stunning Hedgehog. These names are so good. As the new mother of a 4-month-old, not the asshole. It was 3 days. Yes, it's important that you support your wife, but this was for a family funeral, not a boy's trip to Vegas. R. Baltimore responded, it was 3 people who died. Oh, is that the OP? Oh, no. Well, no, there's somebody else. How does he know this, though? It was 3 people who died. His sister, her husband, and her husband's sister. And he stayed for under 72 hours. Speaking as a mom, he's actually catering to her needs quite a bit. I would have gone with him and taken the baby. Edit. She had someone, her sister, come to stay with her while he was gone. Edit 2. Her staying at home with the baby is not unreasonable given it's cold and flu season. It doesn't automatically make her a bad person. Okay, so this person was just doing some backup. How does this person know all this? Because you're not the OP, so how do you know about that? It was more. God, that is terrible. That they lost 3 people all at once. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I kind of feel like I know they're picking up some details, but we didn't get much. Like unless 3 months is a solid time to leave when after a baby's being born. Like you're already kind of in the groove. The baby's still at the point where they're not eating solid foods yet, and they're still sleeping a lot. Like it's a good solid time to leave, unless the baby's like super colicky or like you should a couple days away isn't the worst thing.
No, not at all.
Like, of course, the sister's gonna support her sister and say, "Oh, you being an asshole." What a sister gonna say? So yeah, this person's not an asshole. I wouldn't say leave your wife quite yet.
Here's a big old giant pink comment. I scrolled down a bit and came across this one. This is Pale Mammoth, an asshole enthusiast. Not the asshole. First, COP, I'm incredibly sorry for your loss. If you haven't read his comments, he mentions the funeral is for his sister, brother-in-law, and brother-in-law's sister. All I can tell you is to hold on and take however much time you need to heal. The reason I'm saying not the asshole is because I think the wife is acting pretty selfish here. The sister-in-law was with her. At 3 months, OP's wife should understand how important it is for the OP to attend his funeral. This isn't living it up in Vegas, same person say that. Also, OP mentions in his comments, wife and baby are both healthy. Wife doesn't have PPD or signs of anxiety. She just doesn't want OP to go on a trip without her. Again, this is not a fun vacation. I'm sure OP would rather this tragedy never have happened, so he wouldn't even have to attend a funeral. I absolutely agree your priority in usual circumstances would be your wife and baby. This is far from that. OP and his wife are growing their family with the addition of their baby daughter. Maybe they'll have another baby in the future. A lot of hopes and dreams to come. On the other side, there's a massive hole where OP's sister's family was. This was the chance to say goodbye to the dreams that they lost and the hopes that they will never come true. But that was damn touching, sir. or madam. I don't know who you
Yeah,
are.
losing a sibling is debilitating. Just like different little shit that just still comes up with me. It's like I forgot what memory it was, but the fact is like I don't have anybody else to talk to about certain memories and stuff like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that comes up on a daily basis with a person that you grew up with. Having a brother or sister is a great thing. Losing a brother or sister, and then maybe like when like he has a brother-in-law, her husband. Most times, like you have a bond with that person too. Like you gain
Yeah.
you gain a brother. So it's terrible. I don't know what kind of person he married that doesn't understand that. Your How could you not understand it? Your sister came to help because he was going to a funeral for his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's I don't know what to do with that whole family at that point, you know?
throw it all away.
throw the whole damn thing out.
Yeah.
Fuck all of them. Sorry, I'm pasting you guys links. I have to keep these links in my show notes so I can give them to you in the show itself, show notes. After the fact, so if you were so inclined, and I have no idea how many people actually take advantage of this, but I always give you the option to come back and read it yourself. Plus, you'll have to hear me stumbling and mumbling all over my words. You just do it in your
Give you what
mind
you
and
didn't even know
enjoy.
you wanted before.
As we begin to wrap it up, in the realm of entertainment, Ant-Man is I'm telling you right now, it is a full on repeat of everything that was last week. It is extraordinary. I did finish it. I watched all I believe it was 8 episodes. I really enjoyed that show.
Well,
So if you have Hulu or elsewhere in the world where it's on Disney Plus, I would tell you to go ahead and give that a watch.
I have not watched it
It
yet,
was very fun.
but when we were talking about it last week, I texted my partner like then and there, and like sent her and I the link to it on Hulu, and I think
Yeah.
she's watched it right after that, like the next morning.
Yeah, it's a very fun show, and I think you'll dig it. I am again watching Shrinking, which had a very wild ending last week. I was so taken aback, and
I
the new episode's
I
up
was
now.
screaming like, "Don't do it! Don't do it!" I was screaming it, like standing there.
uh, I, between you and I, and if you go watch the episode, you'll understand what I'm saying here. They are both mourning, but two different
Yes.
things. Actually, in one situation, the same thing,
Then
but in her
then
situation,
something compounded.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like that will hopefully correct itself as needed.
But strangely enough, I've heard of that happening so very much.
Really?
Okay, so like when people trauma bond, like they'll end up being with a person that was close to the person that they lost. It happens a lot.
Wow.
Um, Mostly from TV shows, but in documentaries I've seen, it's like somebody end up with somebody's brother after like they died because they spent so much time with that person after they die. Like they'll get with a sibling or a cousin because you were confident in that person and you naturally fell in love afterwards.
Mm. Very good. Yeah. The Last of Us is still fantastic. We have 2 episodes left, and this past episode was basically the Left Behind DLC in full,
Yes.
and it was so well done. And this show just really want to snatch your heart out every goddamn week.
Yeah, it was really well done, down to like the mask and stuff they wear during that.
Exactly.
I was pretty impressed. Like it was kind of cool how they used Mortal Kombat instead of the made up game, which
Yeah.
was kind of cool. It was one of those things like like I would have loved for them to use the game they made up, but I thought it was kind of cool that they used a real world game. It was cool.
Yeah, so you should be watching The Last of Us if you are not. And it's almost done, so you could probably, I don't know, that's not a show. That's a show I'm glad I get a week between. It is helpful for me to go through. I watch a lot of people's reviews or recaps of it, including this therapist who goes through and tells you she has that perspective, and that's it's enjoyable in one regard, but also interesting. It's like, oh, because she be picking up on shit that I simply don't, or look past. And so I have found her very interesting. Also, she's stunning. It's kind of weird. Like, she is so fucking gorgeous. And it's like, why is she just her? Yeah, okay, there you go. I guess I'll figure that out. So maybe I'll give you a link to that in the show notes as well. I would try to, like I said, that's something we've been talking about recently. We watch a lot of YouTube, but we never think to share with y'all what YouTube things we're watching. And maybe we should be better about that, because it's just as much as our regular standard TV show viewing.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't really watch much this week. I wasn't really playing nothing because my remotes weren't working for my PlayStation. So what happened was they needed an update. And I couldn't turn it on because they needed the update.
Lord. So would you have to go charge them?
No, they were already charged. They're already charged. What I had to do was I went into the app. And I turned on my PlayStation with my phone. And once I turned it on my phone, I was able to go and turn on the because the remote would come on, but it wouldn't so I was able to do the system update from that. Okay, and that's how I finally got it to work.
Man, that is there some setting you can flip to make sure that is not something you have to worry about again?
I was lucky to figure that out.
Well, hey, that's dope, man. You got your workaround, so that's what's going on there. I beat Metroid Prime Remastered for the first time since Metroid Prime came out, and I don't know if I actually beat Metroid Prime back in the day. I might have gotten to the last boss or the boss, the sub boss that comes before him, but I don't know if I ever beat it. But I beat it this time, and I was very excited to have done that. And I was like, "Am I?" Because it gives you an option. It says if you save right here, then it overwrites everything, and you got to start from scratch. So I could have just not saved and then just went back in and collected everything and so forth and so on. But I was like, am I really going to do that? And I had to be honest with myself to say, no, I'm not. And I just clicked the save and let it overwrite and took the card out, put it in the case, put it on the shelf, and was like, okay, we get here. We are done here. I picked up a controller for the first time, an Xbox controller for the first time in like about, when it was all said and done, Metroid said I played it for 30 plus hours.
Which it really isn't that much.
No, it's not. But it is because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, basically imagine me playing, let's see, that came out on February 22nd, I believe is when they announced and dropped it. And I bought it like digitally that day. And I played it certainly nearly every day from there until I beat it. So just a couple hours here, a couple hours there, you know what I'm saying? So it really was me like going hard on that bad boy. So it was great. And it really was a fun game to play. But I picked up my Xbox sticks today, was like, let me play a little Fortnite, listen to a podcast. And the A and the B on the Switch controller and the A and the B on the Xbox controller are flipped. And I kept fucking up the entire time. And I'm like, I am out of shape on this Xbox controller because I keep pushing what I know to be the A button on the Switch, which is the B button on the Xbox, and I'm pushing back when I want to go forward. And that was left and right just messing up.
That's why I've been having a hard time with Red Dead Redemption, like using gun mechanics on The Last of Us versus that. I just keep on shooting people and have to keep on like turning off the game so I don't get yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. That actually, that has been it for me as well. I do want to tell you listeners that the latest episode of a podcast is up now. It's called 3 Minute Warning. It is about shows that are 3 minutes or less, and I just want you have to. I know it seems like I'm on my own dick, but I went back and listened to all 4 episodes of volume of what I say is volume 2 of a podcast, and we make a damn good product. Like I said, it's only 4 episodes out currently, you know what I'm saying? And the first 2, it was just me, so they're wild short. They're like 19 minutes each. You know what I'm saying? But all of these shits is so good, and they only have gotten better because now we get some guests in, and they share their shit. And I go in, I edit it just like I edit the rest of the show, and me and Anthony have a good time going back and forth on our discussion with it, shit and stuff like that. There, because we have a lot of stuff in common, but also stuff that we don't have in common, and so we get to discover new things about each other's music tastes. And it's so good, and it always comes out good when it all comes out there. I had to go back and re-edit that show like 3 times after I posted it. I went in and the music, our music, you and I's music choices, all were too loud. Like I'm in the car and I listened to about 15 in the car, and it was like the music came on and it was like, I was like, that's far too loud. So I went in, tapped down all our music, which is a bit involved, but but whatever, nothing to it. And then I get to Delvin's section, and Delvin's shit is wild low. So like after I get past Delvin's section, the show the rest of the show comes back in, and it was wild because of course it was like that. So I had to go back in, and tap up Delvin's segment, and then I listened again. I was like, okay, everything's good here. But then I mentioned twice in the show. I was like, I'll have links for this in your show notes. 2 separate things, and had not put the links in the show notes for either one of those things. So I had to go back in and edit those into the show, and refresh until, and then I made sure the fully fleshed out, fully properly edited, and with all the notes version is indeed up and available wherever you get your podcasts at. And so if you downloaded it the first moment it came out, I would tell you to erase and go and pull it back down again. You'll know the difference because if you went and looked at it, you'll see there are links at the bottom to the all caps video and what else? There's something else in there that and all the we had discussed some articles, but we didn't actually read them on that episode. Links to all of that is in there. The links to the review of Numbers on the Board from Rolling Stone is the other one that was missing. So that shows a labor of love. Me and Ant put in real work on that bitch, and it's always a delight. And it's just good. I'm telling you that right now, man. It's probably one of the best shows out there. Better than a lot of programs. I listen to a lot of music podcasts. I'm telling you right now, our shit's better than theirs. Our shit more John Blaze. It just is. So,
I have a very interesting idea for the next episode.
Excellent. I'm all about that shit. So that is what's up with that. You know what it is? Rate, review, subscribe, share the show everywhere that's possible. Give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. You can also text to that number. Works like a charm. And if you're so inclined, you can. I was actually pulling up the email. When you said I robot earlier, that's exactly what I was doing. I meant to go and look in the damn email. Nothing in the email folder this week, nothing to it. And I don't think there was – I should it dawns me that I should also check the voicemail folder because these are 2 different folders. We're clean on that one too. So no feedback this week. Who earns? But worry not. I'm certain if you have something to say, you will.
Next week, hopefully, we'll have something with the full 3-person Voltron intact.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? Send good thoughts, my man Box's way. You know what I'm saying? Healthy, wealthy, and wise for my mans. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he just not feeling great today. And we want him to be feeling up and be in full shape when he gets back and gives us a hand. So nothing to it at all. Today's episode went up wild early. I put it up last night before I went to bed. So, because last week I put it up so late that I felt bad. So this week I was like, get my shit together. We can put it up early. So lots of shit. And like I said, patrons, you might be having this show tomorrow from the time we record it. So think about that. You won't. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be as nice. You're going to get the uncut raw, and you ain't going to have no show notes. So you can decide if you want to have the uncut raw, or if you want to wait a week, basically, and have the show properly edited, with the proper cues and the like in it, and a proper set of show notes that you can enjoy and use at your leisure. Our missing man is Lunchbox 2099. That is Tatum 216.
Yes. Good night.
I am the Internet's Terror 713. You've just been podcast to, and I'm certain you loved it. We will catch you next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.